Oh yes, just one more win should do it, and Rovers are safe. Harry, we've been chatting since September on this channel. We never thought we'd be saying that, did we? But by goodness, what an improvement you're seeing in your side. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, hopefully you're right that one more win is enough for us. I mean, we should never really, with the side we've got, we should never really be down here in the first place. But yeah, you're spot on. Just improvement week on week at the minute under John Eustace. Um, we go and blow Sunderland away, go score 5 goals, and then we show that we've got that attacking intent. And then the next week we go and shut out Southampton, which I don't think has happened
No.
since September. I think that was the last time that was managed to shut them out. So we've shown on both ends of the pitch vast improvements. I said it on Twitter. If John Del Thomason's in charge for that game, then we lose it. I'm afraid. And even though I don't think Southampton were particularly great, but it shows the difference when we went down to Southampton uh, in December and we got spanked 4-0. I know there's a different Southampton team. They're a little bit hot and cold at the minute, but Rovers looking really good. I'm really confident that we can pick up enough points between now and the end of the season to keep us up.
Okay, we are recording this before your trip to Ashton Gate, so it might have already happened before we send this out.
Fingers crossed.
But if it hasn't happened by then, the next opportunity to pick it up is at Elland Road. Um, we've talked before about the ticket pricing. We shout out to any Blackburn fan who is travelling to Elland Road. You paid your 50 quid. I mean, it's scandalous, but we won't go on about that any more. Harry, could you nick a point or more at Elland Road? I know from talking to Leeds on this channel that they're not playing well at the moment. Um, you could pull a surprise here, I think.
Yeah, well, I think there's probably not a better time to go to Elland Road. I think I was speaking to a Leeds mate of mine the other day, and the the loss finally came against Coventry. But it's been a bit of a long time coming. I don't claim to watch Leeds every week, but I know the Millwall game I think I watched and they didn't look great. And there's been a couple games where they've just got over the line, but the performances haven't been there. So hopefully this is maybe a bit of nerves. Ipswich and Leicester keep picking up points there. They're, hopefully they get on a bit of a dip, and we're going to be full of confidence. We're going to go there thinking that let's take the game to Leeds. Let's give it a real go, and we can get something out of it. Obviously, let's not overestimate them. We know how good they are. We know how good they can be, and testament to them that they've been winning when they haven't played great. That's a sign of a good side. But yeah, I think Rovers will go there full of confidence, especially if we get a decent result on Wednesday.
Yeah. Any tactical changes needed for a game like this? I mean, you're pretty solid against Southampton, but this is away from home. Does he just play with the 5-5-0?
Well, I think we have to keep things exactly the same. The only change that will come in will be a straight swap. Dylan Markande will come in for the injured Ryan Hedges. Unfortunately, he came injured. He had a real injury-ridden season, but Dylan Markande came in and probably had his best game for in a Rovers shirt. Um, so we will set up in that 4-2-3-1, but it does become a sort of two banks of four, and it's more defensive than a 4-2-3-1 sets up because you've got the wingers that track back. Sam Gallagher up front it works so hard defensively, and Szmodics. I think the game against Southampton showed that that was the best use of the press that I've ever seen. Yondell Thomason was praised for his sort of high press, but the way we set up against Southampton, that was the best press I'd ever seen certainly in a long time. Um, so I think we'll keep it the same. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we're not blessed with the greatest level of squad depth. There's not too many people who could come in uh, for this game. You may think about putting an extra man in midfield, but I can't see him changing it if it's going so well at the minute.
We'll do predictions in a second. Just a quick one for you then. How much is Sammy Szmodics worth in the transfer window in June?
Well, the thing is with Sammy, he's tied down to a 4-year contract. He's only been 6 months into that contract, so we don't need to sell. But I also don't think we should get in his way. If he wants to leave, He's been a great servant for the 2 years, been far exceeded what anyone at the club could have imagined him to do. If he wants to leave, wants to go to the Premier League football, we shouldn't get in his way. Only thing, I think if he was 5 years younger, you're talking maybe 20, 30 million. But he's 28, 29, probably only got a couple years left at that peak level. But I reckon I'd be disappointed if we sold him for anything less than sort of 7 million. But I think we should be looking to get 10. I think 10. I think a club would pay 10. We can really afford to be. We can really afford to charge that high price because like I said, we don't have to let him go, and I think someone will pay that price. And I think he's probably worth it for the couple of years, maybe 3 or 4 years that he'll give you at that top level.
Okay. I'm surprised it's quite low. I'd have thought you'd have gone with 15, maybe 16, something like. Given that he's got 4 years, 2026, 27, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, I just think a lot of people will be put off by the age. I think by the time it comes to the end of next season, he'll be, if not 30, pushing on 30. And I think the model of most clubs now is that you buy for the future rather than buying for the present.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he's definitely worth a fair bit.
Okay. If you're a Blackburn fan, would love to hear your views on that. Comment below how much should Szmodics be sold for. Not that we're wishing for him to be sold by any wish of the imagination. Right, Harry, I'm going to go with my own prediction on this one. I'm going to predict that Blackburn don't lose at Elland Road on Saturday. I think you have got the number of these kind of sides. It's the other kind of sides that you don't perform too well against. What are you going with?
Well, I'd be absolutely buzzing with anything from this game. I think if you go to Elland Road and get anything, I think any team would bite your hand off for that. Yeah, like I said, we will go there full of confidence. We'll really try and take the game to Leeds, and I think we will cause them a couple of shocks. Leeds fans might think that you're sort of going back to winning ways against the team that are down there. There won't really be much of a challenge for them. But I think anyone who's watched Rovers recently, it says a lot that we went to last 3 games that we had Ipswich, Southampton, and Sunderland, and I think we were unlucky not to come away with 9 points, at least 6 or 7. But yeah, we know how good Leeds are, especially away from home. And predicting Blackburn to lose at the minute has gone quite well for me, so I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to go for Leeds to edge it 2-1, but hoping that Rovers can get something out of it.
Okay. All right. Enjoy the game at Ashton Gate. I know you're travelling down there on a Wednesday night. Credit to you, and then you'll be back on the coach to the trip to Elland Road. Credit to you, and big shout out to all Blackburn fans that are doing 2 away games in 4 days. Really impressive stuff. Right. Cheers, Harry. We'll catch you next week.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.